So I will be speaking about the importance of youth political participation in governance system and what are the challenges we youth face to participate in those spaces. So let me first begin with a very lived experience of me as a young person. So and then I will elaborate. So I have always seen there is a drain along the road which is just in front of my house, and as a young girl, I would always wonder. In the evening, we see the men and young boys will gather around that drain, and they will just use the space for smoking or drinking or just for their meeting. And then I came to know that that drain is supposed to um, be used I mean, that drain is supposed to, fetch water for the farmlands, for the poor agricultural farmers. And that is how it was built. That is what it was built. And but what we see in reality, in practical it never.
Nas
So hello.
Sorry, Nasmin, we lost your sound just for a couple of seconds.
Okay,
Please continue.
Okay, I'll just repeat for that 10-12 seconds. So I was saying, why did it happen? It happened because the drain was planned and built from someone above. They never touched the base. They never talked to the people on ground, and there was no participation either from the community. And that is why that knowledge gap and the wastage of resources. So, I mean, there lies the importance of youth political participation. So, what is I mean, what do we mean by the youth political participation? So, youth political participation is is engagement of our of our young communities, men and boys, and most importantly, the girls, at various levels, starting from their own local level to the global spaces, to voice for their communities, to voice for their issues and influence those policymakers and make a policy in favor of those underprivileged communities to in order to uplift them from their poverty, from their marginalization. So that is what it is very important, that's where the important lies for our participation in all the political spaces. So I would just now like to focus on some of the challenges and why do we need more voices in those political spaces. So again, as a young woman growing in that area surrounded by paddy fields and water bodies and rivers, we have seen fisher communities very closely, and the farming communities very closely. So the fishing community very specifically are looked down upon in those regions. They are looked down upon as a lower caste, as untouchables. They live those ghettos in those villages or in those habitats where nobody often visits from outside their communities. And even a woman from that community is not allowed to marry or to go and settle down with someone from a different caste. That's how it is practiced, and that's how they are living outcasted from, just because of their like job. Same with the farm agricultural workers. I mean, there is no recognition at the government level or at the community level or at any level. So they just do their work, and they just keep on contributing to our food security and our in our need for nutrition. And like seldom we see all these people at the leadership spaces, and that is where lies the importance of youth's political participation at different level.
Tempo.
So as a youth, ex- sorry. So as a youth,
Ya se terminó.
for me, I also had some of the experiences as a young woman to participate in CSM processes. So, say for example, we are never taken very, very seriously at our organization. So, it is always like, what are you going to do in those high level political spaces? And you are just going roam for your, holidays or for your entertainment. So even for myself, I have always taken a flight after my office. I have always asked Luca to book a flight for me after my office at the night, and next day morning I will be reaching Rome, and directly I will land in the meeting room. So that is how it is for the youth, because at the same time we also need to take care of our livelihood, of our job. So we can't just just can't deny the demands of our bosses, and we just overlook their attitude, and we still continue to participate in those spaces. The another thing is about the resources. So in the CFS now we know the presence of PSM, the public sector mechanism, is very, very strong. And one can see there is a very distinguished and sharp divide between us and them in terms of resources. So we have seen youth with high-end, electronic devices, whereas even in this Corona COVID situation, for this virtual meeting also, one need access to internet, one need a device, either laptop or smartphone. So our community and our youth are really, really struggling to meet their ends, and even a lot of them are participating today, and I'm sure a lot of them have faced a lot of challenge in terms of electricity, in terms of access to internet, affordability, all of that. So these are our challenges we face. And the last part is we also sometimes feel overwhelmed by the presence of so many stalwarts in those spaces. We don't know, often feel out of the place. What do we do? What do we speak? How do we represent our issues? How do we represent ourselves? So these are some of the issues we as youth face, and as a practical experience, I shared those from my own lived experience. Thank you so much.